Richardson again. We're on chapter 6 entitled Dream Chasing. Just dive right into the principles that I want you to gather from this chapter. Now, one of the things that I want you to do is to find your dreams and I want you to invest in them. One of the things that I learned as I'm maturing and growing into the or fulfilling the vision that I set out for myself, my mentor told me one time, he said, I was spending money for this course. I was spending money for this product that I needed in order for me to enhance my product, right? And my gift and my talent. And I said, man, I'm tired of investing in myself. And he told me, man, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, right? If this is a dream of yours, Loami, you have to invest in it. Right. And so it could be time, it can be dedication, it could be money, it could be, whatever it is. I want you to find your dream, your vision, your goal, and I want you to invest in them. Right. Because at the end of the day, there are no shortcuts to your dreams. We already talked about this in our previous chapter, but I want you to be willing to give up everything to pursue those dreams. That sacrifice, that determination that, at the end of the day, I'm thinking long term. I'm not thinking short term. I'm not thinking about the party tomorrow night. I'm thinking about the money I'm going to make in the next 5 years, right? That's where I want your mindset to be. All right. I want you to fall in love with the grind. Fall in love with the ups and the downs, the wins and the losses, just like Meek Mill said, right? Life is about wins and losses. I want you to learn what you need to learn, both when you're thriving and succeeding, and when you're losing and you're not achieving, meeting the goals the way that you thought you're going to meet, right? Life is going to bring you wins and losses. I want you to fall in love with the grind, right? Fall in love with the everyday struggle. Fall in love with the sacrifice that you have to make. I can guarantee you, every single person, every athlete, every entrepreneur hated the small details. They hated waking up 5 o'clock in the morning to go work out and put in work in the gym and to take 5,000 jump shots in a day, right? They hated it at first, but once they realized, I want to be an NBA champion, I want to be an MVP, I want to be a CEO, they fell in love with the grind. They fell in love with the struggle. They fell in love with the sacrifice because they was learning things about themselves that they never would have learned if they didn't put themselves through that situation. All right, y'all? So I want you to fall in love with the grind, the everyday struggle, the sacrifices, and ultimately the path that leads you to the greatness you desire. Fall in love with the process. Don't look at the end goal and rejoice at the end goal. Rejoice every step of the way, right? Appreciate every step that you're taking along the way. And during those moments where you want to give up, right? Fall in love with those moments once again. Fall in love with why you did what you did. There's been moments where I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to travel, man. I don't want to speak no more. Man, I hate school. But man, once I realized, you know what? I'm getting an education that most people aren't willing to get. You know what? I get the opportunity to travel the world that most people don't have the opportunity to travel to. And so I fell in love with the why. I fell in love with the why. Why was I doing it? I want to get that diploma at the end of the day. Why am I traveling? Because I want to impact at least one life in this city or in this country, right? And so that was my why. And so I fell in love with the traveling again. I fell in love with the studying again because I saw the vision clear and I realized what my why was. So I want you to fall in love with the struggle, the grind, right? The sacrifice. And I want you to achieve the greatness that you desire. And when you feel like giving up, think about your why. Think about, why am I doing this, y'all? Why am I waking up 5 o'clock in the morning? That's right. I'm doing it because I want to achieve this goal. Keep that in the forefront of your mind, right? It's during our darkest times, listen to this, that we appreciate the light at the end of the tunnel. It may be dark now, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. Understand that you may be buried, but you're not out, right? You are a seed planted in darkness right now, but you're about to grow. And sometimes you might have to, deal with the maneuver of life, the manure, right? The crap of life. You might have to water that seed, but understand that you have to be rooted. A seed grows downward and then eventually you start seeing the fruits coming upward, y'all. So I want you to ground yourself in the roots. Understand that when life throws at you crap, it's just making you a better person. It's going to cause you to have strong roots so you can sprout out, and bear those fruits. All right, you guys. So I want you to develop strong roots so you can develop great fruits. So fall in love with the grind, fall in love with the struggle, fall in love with the sacrifice that you have to make, and keep that vision in the forefront of your mind. Because at the end of the day, who am I? At this point, hopefully you already have the answer to that question. So don't settle for anything less than what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve that college diploma, don't settle for a AA degree. Don't settle for just a high school diploma. Achieve what you have set for yourself, right? Make use of every opportunity given to you. YouTube, mentors, family, friends, whoever it is that's going to help you thrive in achieving those goals. Use every opportunity given to you and set high standards and hold yourself to them. So many times we don't achieve greatness because we don't strive for greatness. Our goals are so low that we just kind of live life, you know, we just kind of go around life just kind of living and not thriving. So I want you to set, what's the saying goes? It says, shoot for the stars, right? Aim for the moon, and if you miss, you land amongst the stars. I think that's how the quote goes. But I want you to shoot high, right? Set your standards high. Be a learner. One of the things that I've learned in my life is that I was so quick to think I knew it all. Man, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing I don't know everything. I'm realizing now that I don't know nothing. So I want you to not only settle for anything less than what you achieve, but I want you to be a learner. Really listen. Don't say and then go do your own thing. Those people that have been placed in your life, the mentors, the influencers, your mom, your dad, your counselors, your teacher, your youth leader, whoever, they have been brought into your life so that way you can learn from them. So I want you to be a learner, right? And then I want you to create a list of goals. Write them on a list, short-term sacrifices that you're willing to make in order to accomplish that goal, right? We talked about that in our previous chapter, that we are going to create a short-term list, short-term goals and long-term goals. So I want you to create a list of goals, and I want you to write a list of short-term sacrifices that you're willing to make in order to accomplish that. It may be saying, hey, I need to lose 5 pounds because, summer is coming. I got to go to the beach. I got to get this body right. Okay, what sacrifices are you willing to make in order for you to lose that 5 pounds so your body can look right, right? It can be meaning I have to cut out on some soda. I can't go to Chick-fil-A. I got to cut out these things that I enjoy, but it's a small sacrifice that I'm willing to take in order for me to achieve that goal, right? That's an example. And remember, guys, character counts. Who you are, the principles that you have instilled in you is going to develop, that's the principles that you have set out for yourself is going to develop the character that you're going to become in order for you to be successful. All right. So remember, we have to live by principle. And at the end of the day, character counts. All right, you guys, here's some questions that I want you to ask yourself as we conclude chapter 6. What goals have you set for yourself? Pretty simple. What goals have I set for myself? List down those goals. Have you accomplished your goals? It's a yes or no, or you can simply say, I'm working towards achieving those goals, right? If so, describe your feelings that moment you accomplish your goals. I can tell you right now, man, one of the things that I wasn't able to do was to finish college degree. I've been a college dropout before Kanye West, right? And so one of the things I wanted to achieve, I was like, I want to graduate from an HBCU and I want to get my bachelor's degree, right? And man, there was moments I wanted to quit, but I had to make sacrifices. That means, I can't focus so much on my relationship. That means I couldn't focus so much on going out and partying and going out and do fun things. I had to really sacrifice a lot of things that I enjoyed in order for me to achieve that goal. And man, what I tell you, when I got that diploma, y'all, you couldn't tell me nothing. I got that thing framed. It's hanging up in my room. I mean, it's one of the biggest accomplishments of my life because can't nobody take that away from me. It reminds me of the days that I had to sacrifice and I had to struggle in order for me to achieve that goal that I wanted to achieve. So when I achieved that, man, I was on top of the world. You can't tell me nothing. I'm a college graduate, y'all. Like I received higher education. One of the things that my friends said they were going to do, guess what? They ended up doing it. And so when I didn't really have a goal and a vision set for myself after high school, here it is at 15 years later, I achieved it. And I can hang my hat on that goal and said, you know what? My mind, I was so determined to get it that when I made when I was willing to sacrifice my short-term happiness for my long-term success, yeah, that's what that means. That's what that diploma means to me. All right, you guys. Another question I want you to ask yourself, have you been in a situation where you chose a shortcut over the difficult road? Have you done that? I know I have. And what was the consequences of that decision, right? Share what your experience was like and how do you think these things would have turned out if you took a difficult road instead, if you decided to take the longer journey instead of the shortcut, right? What would have been the difference if you chosen a shortcut in your life, right? And you saw the outcome to that. What do you think would have been different if you took the long-term road instead? Lastly, in your opinion, what should you have done differently when you made that decision of taking the shortcut instead of taking the long road? All right, you guys. So that's the conclusion of chapter 6. And we're going to see you in chapter 7, video 7. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.